All right. Oh, I forgot to. Sorry, this is always a work. Hi, Michael. Hello, hello. Michael, do you mind catching the door? That would be helpful. Great. Okay. Well, welcome. I never know who's going to show up, but I'm always happy to see you. You're my favorite people in the whole world. Anybody that does Qigong, I just have a certain resonance with. And we do have at least one newcomer today. And here at Enso Village, they had asked this week for anybody teaching a movement class to teach an introductory class. And I said, you know, the way I teach every class is pretty much an introductory class where it's like anybody can come at any time. And that's true for you. If it works for your schedule to come every week, that's how you'll get the most benefit. But if it only works sporadically, you'll get benefit. And even if you can only come for the warm-ups or, need to come late or whatever, a little Qigong is better than no Qigong. And so whether this is your first class or you're a regular, I really, really, truly am glad that you're here. And so this class is usually about an hour long, and then I also teach a Thursday morning class in the yoga room, or also on the same Zoom link, and that's at 8:30 in the morning. So this class, that class, because it's at 8:30 in the morning, is kind of a woohoo, two more people, is kind of a wake up the chi, where we're, shaking off the sleepies and we're trying to invigorate and wake up our chi. Because this class is at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun is starting to go down. It's a much more quieter, restorative class, but they are both based on Chinese medicine. Chinese medicine, I'm a licensed acupuncturist, and sometimes when people hear that, they think that's all I do is acupuncture, but Chinese medicine, it has 5 branches, which includes nutrition and herbs and acupuncture and movement, and then energy work or qigong. So you might go get a massage. That's somebody giving you, manipulating your energy. It's really important. Most of us will go get a massage once a month if we're lucky, more like once every 6 months, or a birthday present. So a practice like this is something you do for yourself. You can do it anywhere, anytime. It's really, really important to have tools to support yourself. And so this class specifically, I often kind of try to balance yin and yang. You're probably familiar with those words. Yang is the movement, the warmth, the outer activity, and then yin is the quiet, the rest, the stillness. And so in class, we'll do some movement, that's the yang. And then maybe we'll stand for a moment, just close our eyes and just breathe a little bit. That's the yin, always trying to balance. I will say that we live kind of in a yin deficient society, that we more value the yang. Hey, what did you do today? Were you productive? Did you get out there? Go, go, go. And so we need to really cultivate the yin. And I'll say, we're like seeing yang as like this masculine, very violent energy, right, that we're seeing in the headlines. So anything we can do to nourish our own yin, I think, especially in a group setting, can really only help. And when we ourselves, I said we live in a yin deficient society, when we ourselves are yin deficient, it can show up as poor sleep or fatigue or feeling anxious. And so these practices that we're going to do today, kind of think of them as deep hydration, deep nourishment for yourself. So we'll start out, usually in class, we'll do a little check-in. I always like you just to I'll lead you through it, but kind of turn your attention inward and check in. How am I feeling? A lot of times we've just been on the go and we haven't even noticed, like, oh, I actually have a little bit of a headache, or wow, I'm really thirsty, or, I'm feeling a little anxiety. And so it can be really helpful, just like you would check in with a friend. Hey, how are you doing, right? Check in with yourself. And then we do a little bit of qigong and breathing and movement and meditation, and then we check in again. How did it move it? Did it hopefully made it better? And so nothing in class is about forcing or perfect form. All you do is mirror my movements if that feels good to you. We're going to start out seated. Somebody's in the waiting room. Hold on, joining. Great. I usually start out seated, do our little check-in, do some warm-ups, and then there's usually a point in class where I'll say, why doesn't everybody check in with themselves? Do you want to stand up or do you want to stay seated? In this moment, I'm kind of tired. I'm thinking I might teach seated, but we'll see, right? It's present moment. The warm-ups might give me a little more juice and I might want to stand up. So you can modify everything I do. And I really, really want you to modify if you're dealing with a chronic pain or an acute pain situation. If we're tapping and you just, injured your hand, then I hope it's obvious. Don't tap on that, right? You would skip over that. Or if you're dealing with a cranky shoulder rotator cuff stuff or frozen shoulder or something, and I'm doing a movement like this, nothing we do should increase your pain. You might already have pain, but it shouldn't go up. It should either stay the same or hopefully get better. And so the last thing I'll say, somebody asked me on the way in, what does Qigong even mean? And so Qi is kind of what I would call our vital life force energy, our essence, our inner light, and then Gong is cultivating that. So this is a restorative practice. So it's the kind of practice where when you leave, you feel restored, okay? And it's really just practice of listening to your own body. So that's my introduction. How did I do? I say a lot of that in the class anyway, but I wanted to give it. I tried to get a little more organized around it. So great. Well, let's start. So if you're seated back, against your chair, but this is not a relax, fall asleep meditation. It's more of a checking in meditation. So if it's comfortable to, bless you, sit with your feet flat on the floor, that's beneficial. Spine upright, and go ahead and just move your shoulders and your neck. Anything actually that wants to move, go ahead and just move and kind of arrive. And that's a little Qigong you can do for yourself every day. And then settling in, just finding yourself in a somewhat comfortable posture, softening your eyes. Hands can be on the lap, face down, face up, whatever feels good to you. And take a long, slow, deep inhale. Sigh it out. And just feel yourself kind of arriving and settling. Let's do a body scan, really coming into our bodies and checking it out, starting at your head, your forehead, your face, and just kind of noticing what you notice. If you encounter any tension, seeing if you can soften it. If you want to give yourself a little massage on the face, you could do that if that feels good. A lot of us hold a lot of tension in our jaw. Coming down to your neck and shoulders and arms and hands. Just paying attention. Is the left side the same as the right side? Are there areas of coolness or warmth or heat? Is there any that feels asleep or vacant, or anything that feels tingly or alive. Coming to your chest, taking a deep breath in, noticing how that breath is. Softly exhaling. And just exploring the front of the chest, the back of the chest, any areas to soften or anyone that would like more attention during class. Coming down to your midsection, your abdomen and low back. Again, long, slow, deep inhale. Full exhale. See if you can really soften your belly. We often hold tension there unconsciously, and just relaxing, soft belly, feeling the weight of your body on the chair, and then bringing your attention down to your legs, knees, calves and shins, ankles, feet. And again, noticing what you notice, if there's any tension, or if you could move and be just a little more comfortable, go ahead and do that. And if it feels right to you, hand over what we would traditionally call our heart area. And just as you breathe, letting your chest rise. As you exhale, noticing it sink. And tuning into your emotional body. What's present for you today, in this moment? Letting go of the morning. Just tuning in right now. What emotion is dominant? Sadness or anxiety, or just feeling calm and centered. Sometimes we don't really feel anything. It's just kind of like a void, little numbness maybe. It's all welcome, just tuning in. And now bringing your attention to your thoughts. Are they going round and round, or just one thought, many thoughts, or again, just kind of an exhaustion, or a calm, reflective time. And just putting that all together, body, breath, mind, emotions, just kind of snapshotting it. And letting your attention come back to this room. Start to wiggle your fingers and toes if you want. And slowly opening your eyes. And let's do some Qigong. I'm already hot. That's always my own joke, is I get hot when I do Qigong, and I'm like, wow, we haven't even really moved. All right, here comes Ruth. Wonderful. Perfect timing, Ruth. We just finished our initial check-in, and we're going to do some warm-ups now. So I'm going to stay seated, but I'm going to move my chair back for the Zoomers. So I am going to do these. Like I said, I'm kind of low energy today, so I'm going to stay seated. But if you've been sitting a lot this afternoon and it would feel better to stand up, go for it. If somebody stands up in front of you and blocks your view, just move your chair. Okay, so let us start out just with our fingers. We're going to hold our palms up like this, and then we're going to move the pinky, ring, middle, index, thumb, and then the opposite, thumb, index, middle, ring, pinky, and just kind of back and forth like that. Dexterity, and moving into some wrist circles. I never count, but I'm usually aiming for maybe 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 in one direction, and then change the direction. And then we're gonna do our elbows. So for your elbows, you might wanna move, if you're seated and if you're here and seated in one of these chairs, you might move forward so you don't whack yourself. I like to, let's play with seated positions. Bring your feet together if you're seated and your knees together, and just notice how that feels. Take some energy to hold them together and creates a little tension here. So for Qigong's purposes, we want to have wide foundation. Same thing if you're standing with your feet together, you're a little tippy, so we'll have a wider foundation. So making a straight line across with your arms, and then pretty much try to bring your shoulders up to your ears and then down, and do it again, up and down. And guess where the ideal position is? Down, right? Because up takes, imagine walking around like this all day. A lot of people do, right? And don't notice it. And then they come in, oh, I have a headache. Oh, right? And so down. So it actually can help to do that little up, down. All right, so here we go. We're gonna do elbows. So look at my shoulders. My shoulders are down and not moving, and I'm just isolating the elbows. And now we're gonna go the other way. Whatever way you started, go the opposite way. Doesn't really matter which way you started. And now we're gonna do the shoulders, but we're gonna really emphasize moving your shoulder blade and back. The scapula sits on the back. And so we're gonna hunch forward, like really try to bring your shoulders forward, and that stretches the muscles in between the shoulder blades. And now go up, and now go back. Bring your elbows back and stick your chest out, and then down. So it's 4 movements. Forward, up, back, and down. Few more times like that. No particular breathing pattern with this. And one more full one. Great. All right. So now we're going to do neck circles. And I want you we're just trying to mobilize things a little bit, not so much stretch things. So in gym class, you might have learned like make as big a circle with your neck as you can, but necks are really delicate. So I just want you to make a gentle circle with your head. It should just trying to get that chi flowing a little bit. Do about 6 in one direction, and then 6 in the other direction. Should feel nice. Do it in a way that feels nice. Great. And one more for me, and here. Now I'm looking straight ahead, and I'm going to take my chin, my nose is going to stay over my chin, and I'm going to turn and look to the side. And just notice how far you can go to the end zone there, and then come back to the middle, and then go over to the other side. And notice, is it the same on both sides? It's not for me. Pretty restricted this way. Back to the middle, other side. And one more to this side. Go to your end range, and then with your eyes, try to look behind you. And a lot of times you'll get a little more. And then back to the center, and then other side, and then move with your eyes. And back to the center. I'm tempted to do eye exercises, but I think I talked so much at the beginning that we'll skip those. But someday we'll do a class that focuses on eyesight. It's kind of amazing what you can do with your eye muscles. So the next one is for our shoulders and our neck. We've done this one before. Take a big diagonal stretch and pretend there's something you really, really want in that corner and really, really want, and feel the stretch. And now look down at your hand, rotate your neck, and then look up, keeping your head tilted, and down and up. And one more. Up, and bring your hands down and kind of move things around a little bit. All right, that's a good one to do really every day, because most of us sit like this a lot, and that opens up and moves our neck. So let's do other side, stretch down, reach up and really feel that. And now turn and look. And down to the bottom. And again, just back and forth. And last time. And hands come down. Great. All right, I want to do a little bit of chi massage. Personal share. I had a really, really stressful week, and woke up in the middle of the night one night, and all my teeth hurt. And it's from trigger points in my shoulders that refer up. So we're going to do some chi massage today to not let those get built up. So you're going to mirror me. Take your left hand, put it over your shoulder, and give yourself a massage. And this is just whatever feels good to you. If you can reach to the top of your shoulder blade, that will feel good. You can grab the top muscle there, the trapezius, if you like, and massage that. Sometimes it's nice to pin, if you find a tender spot, to kind of pin it. And then you can move your neck or move your shoulder. And other side, equal opportunity. Great, and then take your, the way I like doing this, I'm gonna target right under my skull on the back. I like lacing my hands together and using my thumbs, but you can use your fingers if you like, just whatever feels good. So right off your skull, your thumbs will just fall right onto where the trapezius muscle attaches. This is a big, big acupuncture point, gallbladder 20, for anybody that wants to know. They've done clinical studies on it, and needling this point increases blood flow to the brain, which can only be beneficial for healthy aging. So this would be a nice one to do on yourself. Great. And anything else up there that wants to move? So let's work on our spine a little bit. We started with the neck. So this one, we have 7 vertebrae in our neck, and then 12 that form the rib cage, your thoracic cavity, and then 5 lumbar. Most of us have those every once in a while. One of my first patients out of acupuncture school had 6 lumbar vertebrae. And that was like, oh, wow. All right, but most of us have that, and we don't move them a lot. And so this movement is kind of, if you've been in a yoga class doing cat and cow, let's just do that, the seated version. And so if your hands are on your knees, you're going to kind of slouch back and let your chin come to your chest, and then you're going to come forward, arch your low back, and then mostly I'm interested in you opening up here. So again, draw your shoulder blades together and back. So just back and forth like that a few times. If you're standing, you guys are doing it perfect. You can add your arms in if you like, if that feels good. And just, you're essentially massaging your spine. And make sure you get that chin tuck if you like. And one more, and one more. Great. All right, so we are going to move down in our body and circulate our hips a little bit. So I'm going to show the seated one, and then I'll show what you all can do if you're standing. So if you're seated and want to bring one leg up like this, and then make a circle with your knee. So if you're standing, you can make a kickstand and move your leg like that. So we're just trying to, so if you're doing circles, do 3, 4, 5 in one direction, and then make sure you get the other direction, and do this in a way that feels good. And other side. And always modify if it doesn't feel good. Ooh, I just got a nice little adjustment in my back. No need to go to a chiropractor. Do it yourself. Great. All right, and then feet on the floor. Let's do a little bit of a twist, and we're just going to do a slow twist. So we're going to start with our head, and then we're going to add our shoulders, and then the last thing is our waist, and then back to the center, and slow. It's like wringing out a washcloth. Head as far as you can go. Shoulders as far as you can go, and then your waist, last thing. Back to the center, and we'll do one more to each side. And now that we're a little warmed up, if you want to put one hand here, if you want to use the chair, you can. But I want you to do it slow in that order. So starting with the head, adding in the shoulders, and then lastly, low back and waist, and then other side. And great. All right. We're going to focus on our knees a little bit. We do this in the Thursday morning class. We almost always do this. We don't always do this here. But this is really to give some loving energy to your knees. So rub your palms together. See if you can generate some heat in those palms. Like really rub them together. Try to generate some heat, and then put that heat into your knee and just feel that for a moment, and then start to do a little massage. So just right on the kneecap, otherwise known as the patella, and then moving to the sides and going above the knee and below the knee. And then the calf muscle in the back. And the hamstrings above the knee. And then just do a little tapping, just lightly. And just tune in for a second to your two knees. If they feel different, how do they feel different? How would you describe it? This one always just feels totally sparkly and flowing, and this one wants some attention. So rub, 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 rub. So really challenge you to get some heat. See if you can do it. And apply that heat, that good healing energy, and start to massage it in right on top. the side. And if you find a tender spot and want to spend a little extra time there, you can go below the knee, behind the knee, above and behind. That's where the hamstrings attach. And tap, tap, tap. Great. Last one to do. Well, no, we have two more. Ankles and feet. So for ankles first, really flex your foot. If you're standing up, you might want a little balance. And then push your toes away and flex and extend. But do it slow. We're not in a hurry. You're stretching tendons and muscles, and then do some circles and other direction, and the other side. Flex, pull those toes back, and then point. And circles. Try to make as big a circle as you can, and other direction. We get used to moving in certain ways, so we kind of have these grooves in our brain, so it's really worthwhile. The slower you move, the more you can kind of expand. Great, and then down, and then my feet are off camera and hidden in my shoes anyway, so pretend these are my feet. And I'm going to scrunch up my toes and then spread them wide. If you want to do your hands and your toes at the same time, you can. But this is the movement. Scrunch, 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 and then wide, wide, wide. And one more time. And then tap. Great. So we're just going to do a mini check-in. We've been moving about half an hour. We've really done a head to toe, fingers to toes, waking up the brain, doing a little chi massage. So you can do this seated or standing. Just want you to soften your eyes or close your eyes, turn your attention inward, and do that body scan again a little quicker. And just notice what's changed, what stayed the same. I love all these Qigong phone rings. They're very appropriate, actually. So just starting at the top of your head, neck, shoulders, arms. Just go at your own pace, but just noticing the two different sides. If there's any particular sensation, taking that deep breath. Seeing if there's any resistance or it's just flowing in. Moving down your body. Hand over the heart, checking in with your emotional body. Is it the same emotion you originally identified? Has it faded into the background? Something else is here. We're just noticing and welcoming, softening and allowing. Tuning into the mind and the thoughts. And putting that all together. And just noticing how this time has been for you. So from here, we're going to move into some flowing movements. And so for this, let's all check in with ourselves and see if we want to be seated or standing. And I'm kind of like 50-50. I think I'm going to stand, but I think I'll probably end up seated for a little bit. So it's really personal, whatever you want, how your skeleton is, how your knees, back, etc. are. Just do what's right for you. So this first part that we just did, that's really kind of waking up the qi, getting things flowing. In the Chinese medical map, we have meridians going up and down all over our body. And so now this next part is intended to be restoration time. And so very often for the beginning, we might be, sometimes I might direct you with the breathing of a specific pattern. Breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth, or a lot of times we do the healing sounds and make noise. Almost always for this portion of class where we move into the restoration, we're breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. That's very calming for the nervous system. And as I said at the beginning with Qigong, cultivating our essence, Irini and I had an interesting conversation about breathing last week, and she said, oh, you're generating energy and then you want to contain it. And so that's how you contain it, with your long, slow breathing in through the nose and out through the nose. If you have a really stuffy nose or it's just uncomfortable for you, bless you, then don't worry about it. But if you, so a lot of times people are just curious about the theory. So, all right, I am going to stand for a little bit of this, and you do whatever feels good for you. I think I need to change my camera angle again. Great. So these are based on the 5 elements. We're going to start out with the metal element. Every element is connected with an organ, and the metal element is connected with the lungs. And so we are opening up the lungs. So you're going to start out with your hands forward, and go ahead and straighten your arms as straight as you can be, and now relax, right? So shoulders up to the ears, straighten, relax. And so Qigong is about moving with relaxation. So if we were in gym class, it might look very mechanical, but we're in Qigong class, so it's very flowy. Okay, same thing with the legs. If you're standing up, go ahead and straighten your legs as straight as they can be. Lock them out. My muscles are tight. Relax. So if you're standing, you want, one of my Chinese teachers would say, they're straight but not straight. So they're like, they might look straight to you, but I have a little bounce in my knees. So that's what we do with Qigong. We want the qi, the blood, the lymph to flow very easily. So if they're overly straight, kind of turns into a tourniquet. All right, so hands are face down, fingers very loose, and we inhale. And when we get here to the side, palms up, thumb and index finger come together, and we exhale, slightly sinking our chest. Inhale slowly through the nose. Exhale slowly through the nose. Again. Filling your lungs with fresh energy. Exhaling out, releasing. Drop your hands a little lower, same movement. Long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. Let's do 3 more and see if we can really slow it down. hands turn over and come down. So we're going to do a little standing or sitting posture. We're going to just warm up some lung points. And so take your left hand and come over here on your chest and rub. It's right in that corner where the between the shoulder, beneath the collarbone, can find some tender points in there. And then other side. A lot of us don't massage this area. You might be surprised how tender it is. And now we're going to do rubbing our hands together again, generating some chi, some warmth. And then notice I'm going to turn to the side so you can see. I'm holding my hands off my chest and beaming energy into those points. And notice where my elbows are. Shoulders down, elbows totally relaxed, jaws relaxed. We're just going to hold this for like 20 seconds and just want you to really beam that beneficial energy deep into your lungs. The metal element is all about inspiration. Your palms might feel a little tingly. And floating the hands down. Great. So we're going to move from the metal element to the water element. The water element is represented by our kidneys. We have 2 kidneys. They are on the bottom. They're like behind your 11th and 12th rib, I think, 10th, 11th, and 12th rib there. And then we have our adrenal glands that sit on top of our kidneys. So they're really kind of our life's essence. When somebody has a balanced, healthy water element, they're very in touch with their own essence, their intuition, their stress is low, they go with the flow. Think of all the qualities of water. So this one is one of my favorite flows to do. It's called the fountain, and it mirrors the kidney meridian. So we have 2 kidneys. Most of us have 2 kidneys. And then the kidney meridian is on both sides of the body. It starts on the bottom of the foot to a point called bubbling spring, comes up the inside of the leg, and then goes on either side of the belly button, and then comes up the torso. And then the last point is right there below the collarbone. When we get here, then we become the fountain. So if you're standing, your head's going to come forward, your hips are going to go back. If you're seated, just bring your head forward, back of the hands together, and then drawing the energy up the legs, up the torso, returning to the source. Long, slow inhale. Long, slow exhale. Water entering our system, deeply hydrating every cell of the body, nourishment and support. In through the nose, out through the nose. Head comes forward, hips go back. And just in your mind's eye, imagine a fountain. Watery energy flowing up, excess returning to the source. Let this be really flowy. 3 more times. Let's slow it down. Wonderful. Ending with your hands down. So for our standing or seated posture, if you're seated, it might just be easiest to have your hands face down, connecting with earth, the source of the water. If you want to put hand over hand over, if you're standing and it's comfortable, you can put hand over hand, hands over your kidneys. Another option is to do the healing palm. So whatever feels good to you in the moment. And softening your eyes, softening your jaw, turning your attention inward, and just tuning into the power of water, fluid. We can't live very long without water. And just tuning into your breath, slow inhale, slow exhale, and bringing your hands down. And after all that, I'm going to have a sip of water. So we'll move. We've done metal and water. We move to fire, which is represented here in our middle dantian, our heart area. And let's go ahead and just kind of wake up those heart points right on the sternum. You can tap, you can rub up and down if that feels good. And I think for this one, we're just going to do a simple, I'm going to try this seated. Actually, I haven't done this seated. Let me see if this works. Yes, it does. So you can do this seated or standing, but we're gonna try to kind of massage the heart a little bit. So if you bring your shoulder blades together and lean forward, that squeezes the heart. And then if you open up, then it stretches it this way. So exhaling with a, and then inhaling through the nose, letting the heart fill. And again, inhaling through the nose. A few more times. And come up. Before we go any further, I know I said mostly for the flowing movements that we breathe in and out through our nose. I'm just feeling for many people there, we're carrying, as a collective, we're carrying a lot of anxiety right now. And so a way of discharging is through making a healing sound. And so we're just gonna do that back and forth, and just kind of, it's not going to get rid of everything, but it's just kind of dialing it back a little bit. And so I wanted to just say a little bit about the healing sounds if you're new here. So let's start with an inhale, open, fill, and then exhale with a sigh. And again. And one more time. Wonderful. So this one, now that we've kind of refilled a little bit, taken the edge off, we can send some of the good energy that we've generated out into the world. So seated or standing, hands are going to be facing each other here. And then we're going to inhale up to the heart. Your hands turn over, and then you're going to push out, sending your good energy out into the world, wide and far and down. If you're standing, then your hands come down and then you bring them up. If you're seated, I'm doing everything opposite. If you're standing, it's like this. And if you're seated, then when they come down, you just bring them in. So the breathing for this is in 4 parts. There's inhale, pause, exhale, pause. All right? So inhaling up, filling, pausing, holding your breath, exhaling through the nose, and another pause. Inhale, pause, exhale, pause. And I'll be silent now and just invite you to really tune in to the intention here, sharing our love, compassion, far and wide. And one more time. And tuning in to your own heart, hand over hand again, tuning into your breath. Full inhale, letting it refill. And full exhale, just storing it in your deep reservoir. In your mind's eye, just invite you to think of something you've been grateful for in the last day or two, just the sunshine or seeing a hummingbird, or if you have a cat or a dog and just your affection for them, just generate for this moment a good feeling. And inhale that in and exhale, deep storage. One more, inhale and exhale. Wonderful. And just taking that warmth, just making a circle around your heart and spreading it down the inside of your arm and up the outside, and just kind of spreading that good feeling through your body. Make sure to do both sides. Wonderful. And so we'll finish up with the earth element, and that is represented here by all our digestion organs, the spleen and stomach and pancreas and all the intestines here. And so the move is a simple one. It's called Pebble in a Pond. So hands are face down, fingers are relaxed and loose, and I'm gonna push away. Watch my head. My head is actually gonna come forward and then out and around. So exhaling through the nose, pushing away any stress. Inhaling fresh, radiant chi into your center. Exhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Feeling your feet on the floor, rooted and grounded. Moving with relaxation. Three more times. And last time. And hand over your belly button, just tuning in to that earth energy, the gravitational force rooting us, grounding us, supporting us, feeling centered. And if you're seated, I'll invite you to sit back in your chair. We'll end class with a few moments of silence. If you want to do a standing meditation, you want to have a wide stance, knees have a little bounce to them, the arms and shoulders are relaxed. You can, if you want, have your hands facing down or just feeling the root this way. And just settling in, doing that quick scan, body, mind, breath, emotions. What's shifted over this time together this hour? How are you in this moment? And I'll be quiet now as we have silence for 2 minutes, just savoring this group field that we've created. And for this last minute, I invite you to really gently crack your eyes open, keep your gaze down, but just see if you can maintain your inner focus with your eyes slightly open. If your mind wanders, come back to your breath. And letting your eyes open a little more and start to move your hands and feet and anything that wants to move. And we'll end class as we always do, dedicating the merit of our practice for the benefit of all beings. We have a wonderful group energy here, about, 20 people here online or in person, and I don't know how many online, but really, really good to be together. So if you want to share with me, the words I use are, may the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. May the merit of our practice benefit all beings and bring peace. got a nice little golden sparkle and joy sparkling in the back. So good to be together, everybody. If anybody wants to try Thursday morning, 8:30, same Zoom link. And we'll see you when we see you. Thanks for showing up. Bye, all.
Thank you. Thank you, Lynn.
Bye.